Happy Sunday morning, everybody. It is Sunday, March the 16th, 2025. It's been a stormy start to the morning, but hopefully most of it has passed here now. I hope all of you have been safe. I know there's been quite a few killed here in the United States over the weekend from these storms as they came across the nation. So prayers are with all of these families that have been affected by the storms. But we are safe in the house of God this morning, ready to worship. I do want to say a special good morning. Pastor Ron Hawkins, I know you're watching this morning. Hopefully my pastor, Carl Overton. Carl, I'll be back to see you one of these days. It's just been a little hectic here lately. Certainly missed being there. Also, I want to say good morning to a brand new listener, Earl, down in Australia. Thank you for joining in. And if you are a new listener today, welcome. And I hope you are blessed by today's program. All right, so I do want to go ahead and get started today. And first up is a wonderful hymn of the church, God of Grace and God of Glory. Next up, one of you on YouTube was talking about Jesus wants me for a sunbeam. So here it is for you today. Stephanie Goudreau, I have to think of you also every time I play that song because I know that's one of your favorites. All right, next up, let's do Living by Faith. And the next song up is very appropriate for today, talking about all the storms coming through, A Shelter in the Time of Storm. So next up, I've got a very special song dedication this morning. It's in memory of someone, and I would definitely say in honor of this person, Maudie Myers, who played at the Bethlehem Church of God for, it was over 40 years. I don't remember if it was 50. Mom and Dad, you'll have to correct me on that if I'm wrong. But she played there for many, many years. And when I went there back in 2001, she was so glad that I was there so that she could then retire from playing. And Joy, you contacted me and requested I play in honor of Maudie, Amazing Grace. was for you. Thank you, Joy, for requesting that. All right, next up, let's do Jesus is Coming Soon. Let's slow it back down just a little bit, and next up is Take My Hand, Precious Lord. Let's move to one of the old Church of God convention books, and let's do a couple out of those. And the next up is This Same Jesus. any of my Church of God friends on here remember that song. It's a wonderful old song. I love the last words of it. This same Jesus will come again. All right, next up, another old one, and it's called I Can Almost Hear Trumpets. Let's go with some slower Southern gospel for just a little bit. And next up, it's God on the mountain. And indeed, He's God on the mountain, and He's God in the valley. When things go wrong, He'll make them right. Next up is one simply called Without Him. And indeed, without Him, I couldn't do anything. We can't even breathe or our heart beat without Him. Next up is another older, slow Southern gospel, Peace in the Valley. Next up, an old hymn that I enjoy hearing the Gaither Vocal Band do, but they're not here this morning, so I don't guess I'll do it with them. But it's simply called, "O Love That Will Not Let Me Go." Amen. Indeed, God's love will never, ever let us go. All right, next up, another old Southern gospel song I used to play for the Evangeliers Quartet from South Lenore Church of God, and it's called "When Jesus Passed By." words to the chorus of that song are, when Jesus passed by, gone were all the heartaches, life's troubles and strife. You can reach out and touch him, and he'll hear your cry. Then you'll know something happened when Jesus passed by. The wind is still blowing outside. You can hear it still raging, even though most of the storms have all passed. But I'm thankful that everything's good here. Suzette lost power at her house this morning. I had to go get her because her garage doors wouldn't open this morning. So hopefully her power will be back on whenever we get back to her house in a little while. I drop her off as I go on to church. Next up is a song. It's called Sheltered in the Arms of God. And Valerie Hart, you asked if I would please sing this one this morning for your friend that's in hospice with cancer. Yes, I will do my best to sing this morning. I don't sing a lot on here, but thank you for asking. Take one sip of coffee just to wet the vocal cords, and then we'll start. Sheltered in the arms of God, and it's my prayer that you are too. All of the songs that I play, 99% of the time, are all requests from you, the listeners. Every once in a while I put one in of my own, and that's what I'm about to do now. And it's simply called Because He Lives. Just a little bit later this morning. I've got one more that I definitely want to play this morning. I know that probably most of the time, the last song that I play is what you carry with you each week. And this morning, I want you to carry away this one, this thought. Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. I know I usually play a faster one to end, but today I just wanted to remind you of that blessed assurance that you have when you have Jesus in your heart. hope the program has been a blessing to you today. Be sure and share it with your friends so together we spread the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ to a lost and dying world. I pray you have a fantastic week. Lord's willing, I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.